By making a new breakthrough into Russian territory in the Belgorod region, Ukraine most likely hopes that this operation will improve its negotiating position by capturing more Russian lands. This opinion was expressed by the former senior advisor to the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, Major General Viktor Nazarov, reports the New York Times. According to him, such hopes of receiving concessions by taking territories in the Kursk region have faded, since Russian troops have practically recaptured them. The head of the new geopolitics research network, Mikhailo Samus, suggested that the new operation of the Ukrainian armed forces was apparently aimed not only at strengthening Ukraine's position in the negotiations, but also at blocking a potential new attack by Russia, as well as at diverting Russian troops from other parts of the front. As he noted, this operation will show that Ukraine is acting proactively and that Ukrainian arguments must be taken into account. Pasi Paroinen, an analyst at Finland's Blackbird Group, said his organization had verified and geolocated several videos that showed Ukrainian forces entering the Belgorod region. He said Ukraine had managed to secure a proper buffer zone of defended territory and seize several villages along the border during the first few days of attacks. He added that the village of Demidovka now appeared to be under Ukrainian control. According to the NYT, Ukraine has not publicly acknowledged a new attack on Russian territory, but 3 Ukrainian military and government officials have anonymously confirmed that the operation is ongoing in the Belgorod region in southern Russia, not far from territory seized by Ukraine in the neighboring Kursk region. At the same time, the publication added that Moscow has not demonstrated a willingness to make real concessions while Ukrainian troops remain on Russian territory, and Kyiv's new onslaught is associated with obvious risks. Let us recall that the Telegraph wrote that Ukrainian troops are advancing deep into the Belgorod region of the Russian Federation, despite the Kremlin statements about repelling the attack. It was noted that it is not yet known whether this is a short raid or a long-term operation. At the same time, the Institute for the Study of War reported battles in the villages of Demidovka, Prilesy and Popovka. In parallel, Ukraine continues to carry out pinpoint strikes on Russian command posts, bridges and warehouses.
Ukrainian aviation struck a Russian army command post in the occupied village of Velikaya Novosyolovsk in Donetsk region. Drone footage of the explosion after the strike with a highly accurate KAB aerial bomb was shared on Telegram channels. There is no exact information about the number of servicemen killed at the command post. It should be noted that in recent days, the number of strikes by Ukrainian aviation on military facilities with Western-made aerial bombs, both in the occupied territories and on Russian territory, has increased. Hero of Russia Major Murat Tibilov has been killed in fighting in Russia's Kursk region, local media reported on Friday. According to the Russian media, he was performing a combat mission in the region. A month ago, Tibilov received the Gold Star of Hero of Russia from President Vladimir Putin and had been involved in Russia's full-fledged invasion of Ukraine since February 2022. In 2022, he was awarded 2 Orders of Courage. Acting Governor of Kursk region Alexander Kinstein said that Tibilov was among those who participated in thwarting Ukrainian incursion on January 5. It was the Rosgvardia crews who managed to disable the first enemy tank, which played a huge role in the further development of the battle and the defeat of the enemy, Kinstein wrote on his Telegram channel. Major Murat Tibilov was a Special Forces officer of the service. It should be noted that Kursk has been the focal point of fighting recently, with Russia aiming to return territories captured by Ukraine following cross-border incursions since last August. Servicemen of the 12th Special Forces Brigade Azov took 20 Russian occupiers into Ukrainian captivity. As reported in the Azov Telegram channel, this happened in the Toretsk direction of the front. The soldiers of the invading army of the Russian Federation were filmed on video. They took turns naming their names, ranks and the cities from which they came to fight against the Ukrainians. They were lucky to survive. But most of their comrades are still lying in the fields and plantings after unsuccessful assaults. Voluntarily laying down arms is the only way for Russians to return from Ukraine alive and be exchanged for Ukrainian defenders. In any other case, the members of the 12th Azov Special Forces Brigade will take care of eliminating enemy targets in their area, Azov representatives emphasized. Among the prisoners are a platoon commander, a squad commander, riflemen, rifle drivers, and grenade launchers. Most of them served in the 9th Separate Guards Motorized Rifle Brigade, which was formed on the basis of the 9th Separate Marine Regiment of the so-called Donetsk People's Republic. The brigade is now part of the 51st Guards Combined Arms Army of the Russian Federation, which was formed on the basis of the 1st Army Corps of the DPR. The brigade noted that in any other case they will take care to eliminate enemy targets in their direction. Earlier, the 3rd Assault Brigade told how a Russian occupier was captured in the Kharkiv region. The captor asked for pardon. A note for him was dropped along with a chocolate bar. Let us recall that Ukraine has repeatedly expressed its readiness to conduct a prisoner exchange with Russia on the principle of all for all. In the occupied territories and in Russian places, both Ukrainian defenders and civilians remain under restrictions of freedom. The last prisoner exchange between Ukraine and Russia took place on March 19. As a result of this exchange, each side released 175 prisoners of war, making it one of the largest since the beginning of the war.
Командир взвода, старший лейтенант Аникеев Алексей Вадимович, 4 марта 1998 года рождения, город Иркутск.
Тузов Дмитрий Сергеевич, 23 мая 1934 года рождения, 20-й мотострелковый полк, 2-й мотострелковый батальон, 8-я мотострелковая рота, 2-й мотострелковый взвод, командир отделения, старший сержант, город Иркутск.